So everyone is okay with me speaking in English? Is English all right? Yes? Okay. So today we are going to speak about the Abhishek or Rajyabhishek of Krishna, the coronation of Krishna. And why are we going to do that? That is important to understand. Present month, according to the Vaishnav calendar, is known as Kartik or Damodar month. It is said, Kartikam khalo masam sarvamasheshu uttamam. Of all the months in a year, the month of Kartik gives you the topmost benediction. Sarva Maseshu Uttama. So everyone or most of the people who are aware of happiness and pain, they realize in their moments of maturity that happiness is generally obtained by performing good activities or whatever is right. And pain comes to one if one has participated in that which is, or if one has performed activities which are not helpful, which are harmful. So the idea of good and bad has been existing in human society since many, many centuries. And every generation has tried to preserve these traditional values of good acts and encouragement or enthusiasm to performing good activities, and the opposite of it is bad or unhealthy activities. And there's a lot of discouragement towards performance of bad activities. The reason is very simple. By nature, we detest pain. We don't like pain. We don't want painful experiences in life. That is our inclination, that is our nature, that is our swabhava. So sometimes it is very clear as to why there is what is the cause of happiness in life and what is the cause of pain in life. But many a times we may not have clarity. Has it happened to you in your life? How many of you have had bad experiences in life? Please raise up your hands. Okay. And how many of those experiences have left you confused as to why you had to be the object or you had to be the recipient of that experience? How many of you felt, why me? Thank you. How many of you have had very good experiences in life? Please raise up your hands. I mean, is there anyone who's never had a good experience in life?
So, not very good.
Is there somebody who's never had even a single very good experience in life? So are you telling me that getting married was not a very good experience? We all have pictures of that, right? There have been very good experiences in life, isn't it? Maybe not as many as you would have liked, but there have been. Did you ever feel in those circumstances, why me? Why should I be getting such nice experiences in life? How many of us have felt like that? Why was I chosen to be happy in life? Anyone like that? Ever? Never? So it was very much justified that we were happy, isn't it? If not us, then who would be happy in life? That is how we felt. It had to be us. But when there is pain, sometimes we are confused as to why should I'm such a good person, why should I be suffering? True? So the idea that one should be always comfortable and one should not have pain in life is something very, very basic. And it is this basic concept that always is within, that stays within our consciousness, which makes one inclined to philosophy. Otherwise, philosophy would never have any existence. The question or the confusion as to why I should be suffering in life makes one want to be philosophical, try and find answers. Now, many a times we are forced into a situation where we start wondering if the circumstances are against us. We are always trying to be good, but circumstances force us to be bad. I did not want to do it, but then because everyone was doing it, I also did it. Have you ever been in a situation like that? How many of you have never been in a situation like that? Have you? How many of us have been in a situation like that? That I was forced by circumstances to do such a task. I really did not want to do it. I was forced. I was helpless. And now the result is that I am being blamed. The result is that I am suffering. How many of us have been in a situation like that in our life? Please raise up your hands. Who has never been in a situation like that, where we have not blamed circumstances? We have not felt, rather than blame, I would say that we have not felt that circumstances are not being favorable towards us. No one has been in a situation like that. No one has been in a situation where they feel that circumstances are against them. Yes. Everything is against them. You've been in a situation like that. So if you're philosophical and you're in a situation like that, then you start wondering, how is it that suffering comes about? That is where you get into this zone of, is there a past life? Because nothing else can explain the present suffering. So this is how philosophy develops. This is the idea of why there could be past lives, why we could be taking birth again, etc., etc., etc. No one has lived to tell that except a few instances where people remember their past lives. There's not much remembrance. So, what is philosophy? Philosophy is that which helps us find answers and closure to certain confusing situations. We need closure, we need to move ahead in life. To go ahead in life, we need to give up the baggages. All that which is creating issues in our life, we need to give it up. We need to resolve it. How can you resolve something that could have happened in a past life? I mean, in this life, I can take control of my actions. How can I take control of something that has happened in the past? From there, because of these conceptions that we have in the culture of Sanatan Dharma, Vaishnavism, Vaishnav philosophy, we learn to be tolerant in life. Because being tolerant helps us move ahead. It helps us seek closure to certain aspects of the past that we may not be aware of. Being tolerant. Tam titikshasya bharata. The very first advice in the positive sense, the first do that Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita is learn to be tolerant, Arjuna. Because Arjuna had similar questions. Why me? Why am I in this situation? I never wanted to fight. Circumstances have put me here. A lot of people do not read the Bhagavad Gita because they feel it is not meant for them. They'll read other books, 7 ways of how to be happy in life, because they feel that is very relevant. It's perfectly all right. But most of these ideas have already been addressed by Lord Krishna. So if you are really smart enough, then we'll give it a try at least once. Not reading it in a way that, mechanical reading, like, all right, we read it, but we have no idea what it means. It's like sometimes if you're in a country where the language is foreign to you, the script may be Roman. For example, if you're in, I'm not sure if that happens, let's suppose you're in Mexico and the instructions may be in Mexican, but the script is English. So you can read the words, but you have no idea what it means. Isn't that how what we experience when we read the Bhagavad Gita? We read the words because we may know Devanagari, we may know Telugu, we may know Tamil, we may know English. But the language is foreign to us. Its meaning is foreign to us. And therein lies the problem. A wealth of wisdom is not available to us in the form of knowledge just because we are not inclined to learn the language. I'm not saying Sanskrit. Learning the language means you should know the meanings. that the words carry. As soon as you become inclined to it, inclined to learning any language, then all the wisdom that is available in that language is there for you. Like if you go to France and instructions are in French, you learn the French language. All the wisdom of those instructions are available to you. Yes. So philosophy, Bhagavad Gita, these are matters that one should at least give it a try, a sincere try, cover to cover. Philosophy also cover to cover. Cover to cover means at least explore it from point A to point Z, at least once in our life. We should not do it haphazardly. Because being an adult means that that is what is required of us. If we are not well versed with philosophy, at least the basics of philosophy, what kind of guidance and teachings are we going to give the next generation? Are we going to hand over our next generation to certain people that we have entrusted to be the proponents of philosophy? They can radicalize our children. There's so much radicalization going on in today's world. So, are we going to hand over our next generation to a bunch of people having faith in them and being ignorant ourselves? Let me give you a little example. Most of us have been to school. We've learned geometry, right? Everyone remembers some aspect of geometry: triangle, quadrilateral, rectangles, which is a quadrilateral. Geometry, line, point, very basics of geometry, correct? So once a lady who was a single mother, very poor, what are we trying to address here? What are we trying to explore? The idea that it is our responsibility as an adult to explore philosophy from point A to point Z at least once in our life, at least once as an adult. And give the Bhagavad Gita a try because we are born in that culture. So at least we should give it a try once, cover to cover. From verse number 1, Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, to the last verse, 18th chapter, Sanjay Uvacha. At least once. And when we go through it, we should have the proper intent. We want to understand the language, we want to know the meaning, at least once. Why? Because there are a lot of value systems that are discussed in philosophy and in this book, the Bhagavad Gita. Those very value systems that we know we should try and have within our very life, especially in our family. We would want to have those value systems. Good and doing good will give you good results, and wrong, because by that you get pain and suffering. So we need those value systems. It's a basic human need. Pleasure, no pain. So we are trying to explore that. Knowing the language is very important. What does it mean? So this lady was quite poor, single mother, had just one son. The son was in middle school. If we are in India, then the son was in secondary school. You've heard in India there is primary school, secondary school, higher secondary. There's no high school there. Is there a high school? Secondary, higher secondary, and then college. So, poor mother, single child, a son. The son is in secondary school. Just about, let's say, 8th grade, class 8. 8th class, as we say in India. So, there has been an introduction of algebra and geometry already. Yes? In class 8, you've been introduced to algebra and geometry, or was it class 9? Remember your school days? In class 7? Algebra and geometry. Wow, you went to a really. My generation was a little more. Hare Krishna. So for you it was 7. For my generation it was 8. Because 5th, 6th, 7th we just did arithmetic, math. Suddenly 8th standard there was algebra and geometry. Geometry, 8th class. The boy wasn't doing so well. Same reason, I don't understand what the teacher teaches me. So the lady, she would make money by visiting homes and doing dishes there, doing cleanup there. So maid. In India we say maid servant. So maid servant, right? She realized that it is very important for her son to do well. So she went for the only option that parents in such a situation they opt for. She went for that option. Tuition. You know what is tuition in India? Coaching class.
Business.
Tuition. So she had a tutor come to her house, home tuition, and she was ready to pay for it. Would come and teach geometry. So one day she happened to have an off day. She was at home, and the tutor was teaching her son, and she overheard the tutor teach her son. This is a triangle. A, B, and C are the 3 points of the triangle. I knew we would be confused. This is a trick question. A, B, B, C, and CA would be the sides. Correct? Then CAB would be an angle. ABC would be another angle. But A, B, and C are the points of the triangle. Make sense? The mother comes rushing in. She's very disturbed. She says, I am paying you so much every month just that you may teach my child ABC, which my child has already studied in kindergarten, KG class. Imagine, we are the parent. We send a child to Bhagavad Gita class, and this is how we react to what the child is learning. Because we ourselves are not aware of the language. The language of geometry is different. It may seem that it is the English language, but the language is different. How do you understand in the English language? Do you think there will be any essay that says A, B, and C are 3 points? It has to be an essay on geometry, right? But not in English literature. So, at least once in our lives, what are we supposed to do? Go through the Bhagavad Gita, cover to cover, at least once. On an average, we are going to live for, let's say, 70 good years. 80 is good enough. If I would have said 100, you would be like, oh no, what will we do living for? But 80 seems to be a nice number, right? In today's times. 80. Each year of those 80 years is going to be of 365 days. Each day would be of 24 hours. Do we think we could give 80 multiplied by 365 multiplied by 24 hours are the number of hours that we are going to live on an average? Do we think we can give at least 4 hours of that time to reading the Bhagavad Gita cover to cover once in our life? Is it too much to ask for? Not really, isn't it? So that should be one of our goals in the human form of life. Because Gita deals with philosophy. Philosophy is that which addresses value systems. Value systems are that which helps us address our basic need. I want to be happy and I want to avoid pain and suffering. Okay? But the human mind will come up with so many excuses. I don't have time. Hence, such references are given. This is the best time because it is the most auspicious time. If you use the present time that is there, then you'll get 100 times the benefit. Now maybe we are attracted. So Kartikam Khalo Masam, this month of Kartik is Sarva Maseshu Uttamam, is the best of all the months of the zodiac calendar. Best of all the months. Okay? How good is it? Just because somebody tells you that this mall has the best products. You're like, but what products? Tell me what products. Just because it has the best products doesn't mean that it would have what I need. So what does it have? The store. So when we hear the statement that the month of Kartik is the best of all the months, then in what practical way would it be good for me? Please let me know. So now you have to recite after me. If you want to understand what the benefits are, you have to recite after me. All right? Punyam Kartika Mase Tu Yat Kinchit Kriyate Mune Na Tasyasti Kshayo Brahman Papasyapyevamev cha. In the month of Kartik, as in any other month, you will have experiences where you are inclined to be helpful. And you'll also have situations where you really don't want to be helpful. Very typically, you're like, no, I just want to hurt the other person. I want to do something really bad. Really bad could be just spitting onto their lawn or something like that. But I just want to be my mean self. So in every month, each month of 30 days, there are going to be occasions where we feel that we have to be helpful, we have to be kind, and there are occasions when you want to be mean. When you want to, where you're inspired to be kind, that inspiration is known as punya in Sanskrit. And where you're just propelled, there is some really strong emotion that instigates you to be mean, then that is called as papa. Papa. So in the month of Kartik, punya, whatever, even a tiny bit of punya or favorable activity that one performs, nakshayo, the credits of that are never lost. It is to your eternal credit. Helpful? It's not, but this is not being spoken of other months. It is spoken basically of the month of Kartik. That even a little punya, you just have thought that my neighbor is very kind. That thought itself, the credits for that, if there are credits that are beyond human scope, what we call as the divine credits for that will be always, eternally, will be in our credit account. You'll always be considered to be a pious person because of that thought in the month of Kartik. Similarly, even a little bit of papam that we consider within our existence, the result of that will also stay in our eternal credit, in our eternal account. It is not destroyed. So, in Sanatan culture, in Sanatan Dharma, this month of Kartik is very, very auspicious. People just want to be the best version of themselves. They try to avoid any unnecessary, or they try to avoid any situation which could make them behave in a mean way. They don't want to do that. One has to be very, very good in the month of Kartik and try and avoid being nasty. Papam? No, no. Punya? Yes, yes. How many days? Only 30 days. 30 days out of 365 days. Because it stays to your eternal credit. So now you know what products you are going to get in the month of Kartik. Isn't it? There's more clarity. All right. What does it mean, eternal credit? What does it mean? I will always exist. My body may not. True? How many of you have been lean and thin in your lives previous to today? How many have not been, you have been more healthy than what you are today, previously, previous to the present day? How many of you have been more healthier? I have to be correct now. My speech has to be politically correct. No, I'm just, you can raise up your hands. I'm not going to ask you to show your pictures of it. It's not going to be posted. And there is a reason why I'm asking you that. So let's do it again. You have been more lean and thin. Let's say if you're of 25, 30 years of age right now, then maybe in your teens, have you been thinner, leaner? If you have, please raise up your hands. Now, post 25, in your 30s, it's easier to expand. We want to occupy more space. Has that happened? Slightly more expansion? Please raise up your hands. Good. Now, there's a lot of marketing. This narrative is out there. You have to be very fit. So, one fine day, you decide to go back to being lean and fit. So, you lose a few calories. And you come back to a lean and thin form. This lean and thin form that you, or lean, thin, and fit form that you achieve in, let's say, at 35 years of age, and the lean, fit, and thin form that you were at 15 years of age, would it be the same? So you see, we change bodies. It's not that the body becomes fat and then it grows thin again. No, 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 no. We change bodies. I could have given you another example that as a child, we were in a different body. Now, if we think that we have expanded, we have grown into an adult, then just as we stretched out ourselves into a grown up individual, an adult, go back. If it is just expansion, then there can be contraction too. So most probably we are in an irreversible situation right now. And anything that is irreversible is change. You know reversible reactions and irreversible reactions in chemistry? Irreversible reactions means there is a completely different product. It needs different treatment to come back to the original product, a different line of treatment. But reversible products, similar line of treatment. For the product to form, if you gave heat, then for that product to dissipate, you need cold. That is irreversible. Sorry, reversible reaction. So this is not reversible. We have already changed bodies many times. So body changes, I stay the same. I was a child, I was in my teens, I was 19. They told me that now the laws of the land apply to me as a major. Correct? 19. 39 years, different body. Right? Makes sense? At 39 years of age, why do I get the results of what I had done at 19 years of age? According to the laws of the land, present laws. Because the body has changed. Since the body has changed, my identity should also have changed. But the laws of the land state that I am the same person. So I will be held accountable for whatever I did at the age of 19, even though I am now 39, even though I am now 49 years of age. This is the idea of eternal credit. It stays with you. So the same place from where we gave you that reference, you all recited after me, there's another reference. Yatha nadinam viprendra, you have to repeat. Shailanam chaiva narada. Udadhinam cha viprarshe. Shayo naivo papadyate. This is being spoken to Narada. So Narada is being given some information. What is the information? Oh Narada, rivers may dry up in time. Very definitely they do. And they may be lost forever. Mountains may crumble by the influence of time. And that also happens. Oceans may also be destroyed by time. But the Results obtained in the month of Kartik will never be destroyed. Therefore, in the month of Kartik, we must be very, very inclined to do pious activities and stay away from impious activities. And what are these pious activities that are recommended in the month of Kartik? One pious activity which is very, very easy to perform, very easy, is to fast from food and water. It's so easy to perform.
I was about to drink this water.
It's all right. Today is not the day of fasting. Very easy to perform, isn't it? Chanting is easy, but fasting has a lasting impact on our consciousness. Not as much as chanting does. Till today, we remember how we fasted on the day of Janmashtami when we were 8 years of age. We tell people, I also fasted entire day. Did not drink water, did not eat anything. Chanting, yeah, I do every day. No one remembers I did this special chanting. Not many people remember it like that. So very easy to perform as fast. But when you fast, you do not have energy to do any other activity as time passes on during your fasting. You feel tired because you fasted, low in energy. So then what should we do? How do we keep ourselves engaged? So the easiest way to keep yourself engaged while fasting is to listen to the narrations of Lord Shri Krishna, especially that which is very exciting. If you're fasting and if you listen to Lord Shri Krishna eating wonderful bhoga offering of puris, laddus, it's very exciting. Because mentally you can, in your mind, you can keep up the hope that as soon as the fast ends, all of that is going to be available for me as prasad. But Harikatha, listening to the pastimes of Lord Hari, is very much recommended in the month of Kartik. In fact, it is stated, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Kartike Keshavagratah. You may give up all other kind of activities that you are very much inclined to, including all other kinds of pious activities in Kartik. Shastra Avataranam Punyam. Worship Krishna who has appeared in the form of Shastra. Shrotavyam cha Mahamani. And how do you worship him? Worship him with your ears, through your ears. Hear the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So now we will speak about the coronation of Shri Krishna. That happened in the month of Kartik. When did it happen? It happened sometime after Diwali. It's about 5,000 years ago. The day after Diwali, everyone in Nanda Braj, everyone in the kingdom of Nanda Maharaj was busy making preparations, and Krishna was a little boy at that point of time. He became very curious. What is all this activity about? Nanda Baba told him that we are making preparations to worship Lord Indra. So in the month of Kartik, they would all worship Lord Indra in the land of Nanda Baba, the kingdom of Nanda Baba, Nanda Maharaj. Krishna, he convinced Nanda Baba and the other elders to change this tradition. So, for the first time in the entire creation, Krishna established the worship of Sri Giriraj Govardhan. He said, instead of worshipping Indra, let us worship Giriraj Govardhan. Now, Lord Indra had also gotten used to being worshipped. You know, when we have certain expectations wherein others are supposed to reciprocate with us, and those expectations are met on a routine basis, then we actually start believing that that is how it should be throughout our life. So we text someone, Hare Krishna. They text back, Hare Krishna. This goes on for the next few days. One fine day, they do not text back. You are not happy with it because you have started expecting that response, and you have put your belief that should be a response. When it doesn't happen, it really troubles you. Now, these are the text messages. Supposing there are such expectations with events in life, like birthdays, an expectation that at least our family members should remember our birthday, especially the spouse should remember. And 12, 13 years after marriage, 14th year, Vanvas, from such reciprocation, you may feel concerned. Correct? Now, if you are being worshipped every year, the people of your community come every year and they give you some worship. And after years of such worship, one particular year, no one is worshipping you. That really could make you feel very, very miserable. And if you are the king of all the devatas, Devendra, and every year in the month of Kartik, right after the day of Diwali, you've already told people I'm not available because I have to go and receive worship. And this year, where Krishna is a little boy, people notice that you are still at home. They ask you, you're not going for your worship. What are you going to say? They no longer worship me. It's not easy to do that. Indra felt very, very concerned, angry, disillusioned. Especially or specifically when he was in his mind thinking about his status in the society of Devas, in the society of the celestials. Indra was not very happy. We have to be very careful and trying to understand why we want to reach a particular position in society. Why do we want to achieve that? When we are aspiring for it, it is just for the returns that we get from it, a better and comfortable life. But once we attain that position, then other foreign feelings, completely unknown feelings, they start entering our consciousness. Pride, desire to be known and worshipped, wanting to stand out in the community where people praise you. So, this desire to receive praise, dangerous trends. According to the Padma Puran, there are 8,400,000 species of life, 84 lakh species of life, of which only 400,000 or 4 lakh species are the human species. So practically the human species is less than 10% of the entire creation of living beings that we know. Less than 10%. 90% of the living entities never suffer from pride. Ever. Only in our comic books and in cartoons, animations, we may find a lion full of pride or a donkey in illusion or the hare and the tortoise story where the hare is undermining the potential of it. Only in comic books and storybooks we find those references. In reality, there are no statistics to indicate that the other species of life, that is 90% of this creation, the trees, the aquatics, the birds, the beasts, the insects, none of them suffer from false pride, illusion, desire for prestige and fame. Their concern is simply eating, sleeping, eating, defending. That's it. Simple existence. But we as humans, we have devised a society where we intentionally have created systems that would harm us. Consciously, we create systems that harm us. Right from the first baby that we have, it is so very normal to ask the baby, who do you love more, mama or dada? Why? What's the competition about? And the baby goes, dada. We post that on Facebook. My baby considers dada to be better than mama. From there, who loves you more, bacha? Mom or dad? Who takes better care of you? Who cooks food for you? Arre, why do we have to intentionally create such dissociations in the mind of the child? Why do we have to do that? Is it necessary? Is there some competition here? No. Because we have no idea what other value systems we have to give to our child. And this is such a common affair. And then we have two children. It is so common, unintentionally. You have to follow what your elder brother or elder sister does. Follow what? We have not given them the proper value systems. The eldest child was taught discriminate between mother and father. The eldest child developed those habits. So what is the younger one going to learn from the eldest one? Not only discriminate between parents in terms of who loves you more, who cooks for you, who doesn't cook for you, also learns to discriminate between oneself and the elder sibling. Who gets more attention from the parents? So, what value systems are we going to give them? This is where these great epics like the Ramayana, the Mahabharata come in. Srimad Bhagavatam comes in. Because these are such voluminous books that if we actually take up these teachings and involve our family in such discussions rather than who is better, mama or dada, who do you love more, mama, rather than those conversations, if we have these conversations, then within these conversations, the child will ask you, why did Bharat make a sacrifice for Lord Ram? And you have to know the answers. Why didn't the five brothers, the Pandavas, fight ever? And you have to know the answers. But if you don't have such conversations for the first 15 years of the baby's life, then the only conversations would be what you post on Facebook, social media, on WhatsApp. The first words out of my child's mouth were Mama. And take it a step further, even the grandparents get involved in this. Aji ki azoba, I come from Maharashtra. So. Dada ya dadi, nana ki nani. Oh my God. So this child is never going to ask, why did Dhritarashtra keep quiet? He'll never ask because those conversations never happened. So value systems never will not get discussed. The only time value systems would be discussed is if there's an event or incident that happens in the child's life and you're supposed to correct the child. That is when you tell, this is not what we do. And the child is like, that is what you told me since I was born. Discriminate. No, we should respect the elders. And he's like, I've never seen you teach me that. You always taught me, should you respect the father more than the mother or the mother more than the father? Should you respect the grandmother more than the grandfather or the grandfather more than the grandmother? And then we wonder why there are so many problems in life. This is why we have created. As humans, we somehow or the other have this ability to create situations that are harmful to us. Although we have the option of doing the opposite. We all have the option. Why should you pour hot chocolate into ice cream? Just because we want to give it a try? Your entire system rejects it, starting from your teeth to your gut. This is biology. Biology does not work the way your mind works. And then one fine day, after 20 years of abusing the body, you say, now I eat properly. After such abuse? Why? No, you have to experience everything. Experience everything in life? All right. Jump from an airplane without a parachute, experience it. Some people survive, believe it or not. Go experience it. You want to experience everything in life? Go and experience such things too. Or be intelligent, be smart. Create a culture where one is not unnecessarily faced with adversity. No unnecessary challenges. We don't need it in our life. So Indra had received good education since childhood. His father is Kashyapa, his mother is Aditi. Kashyap and Aditi never ever had conversations with Indra as a child. Mama or Dada, they never did that. Kashyap Muni, right, since his childhood, said, all right, sit down. I'll teach you how to do the mantras, learn the mantras. Aditi, he said, beta, these are the various vows, fasts that we do. These are the responsibilities that we have. Your father is a great sage. I am his good wife. I'm also the mother of the demigods, of the devatas. So good teachings. What happened? Where did Indra go astray? Expectations. Indra's expectations that every year he would receive worship. He started believing that to be the reality. He felt his life meant that I should receive worship. It is a duty of children to take care of their parents and anyone that is elder, old in their family, like grandparents. Duty. Parents should never have that expectation from the children. That is not dharma. No parent has ever taught their child in the past that they should have the expectations of being taken care of by their children. Every parent did teach a child in Sanatana Dharma that you should be taking care of your elders. But no parent ever taught their child that you should have this expectation of your children. Unfortunately, in today's times, we teach the value systems in a different way. We teach the children that we have expectations that they take care of us when we grow old. Very unfortunate. Because we don't read the Mahabharata, we don't read the Ramayana, we don't read Krishna book. So we have no examples from which we can learn. The only examples are rumors on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is just an extension of people chit chatting. That's it. Oh, I heard it from auntie, I heard it from uncle, I heard it from Prabhuji, I heard it from Mataji. And this is how knowledge gets dissipated. Very unfortunate. Hence, when I began, I said, I request, this is a request, sincere request, that as an adult, at least once in our life, we should go through the Bhagavad Gita cover to cover, understanding the language of the Gita, not just reading it. So Indra was disturbed. What did Indra do? What does one do when one's high expectations are not met and one feels insulted because those expectations are not met? You will be stunned. You will be shocked. The kind of demoniac ideas that come to us. This emotion of insult, it is so foreign to our existence as intelligent beings. Intelligent beings would not harm anything that is essential for their existence. An intelligent being will never do that. Why would I destroy the pillar of my own existence, the foundation of my existence? Why would I do that? Intelligence would not allow me to do that. Therefore, when one is insulted and feels hurt by it, when one is convinced that one has been wronged in society and therefore one has negative emotions, that conviction clouds the intelligence. Avritam jnana sambhutam. It clouds one's intelligence, and now it's just play of emotions. Because I have been hurt. This feeling, this negativity that is within us, It impels us without any rhyme or reason. It just impels one to destroy the other party. There's nothing short of that we want to do. Just destroy, finish off their existence. And that is what Indra wanted to do. He wanted to drown the entire village and rid it of its inhabitants. He wanted the village to start fresh, where never again any generation in this village would hear of this idea that once upon a time Indra Puja was stopped. That was his solution. That was what he wanted to do, just his response. And this is not expected of Indra, because Brihaspati is his guru, his teacher, his preceptor. Aditi is his mother. Kashyap Muni is his father. He has very good friends, nice society. But the mind is a very, very peculiar tool that we have. It is when the mind's intent is towards destruction, there's nothing as sharp as the mind in this entire creation. It is so sharp. It is so fiery. It can destroy, at least within our mind, we destroy everything, even if physically we are not able to do it. So within his mind, Indra had already destroyed all of Vrindavan. But externally, in the physical sense, Krishna lifted up the Govardhan hill. 7 days and 7 nights. It took Indra 7 days and 7 nights to come to his senses. If it takes Indra 7 days and 7 nights with all of his education, his talents, can we imagine what would happen to one of us if we are challenged in our lives by having to face insults? What could happen to us? Severe aggression or depression, according to human standards. Would we have a Krishna in our lives who would lift up the Govardhan hill and protect whatever sanity we have, whatever we have cultivated over so many years of education, so many years of training? Would we have a Krishna in our lives who would do that? So that we can come to our senses after 7 days, 7 nights, or after so like eternity, come up to our senses. Because we need Krishna. We need Him. We need that object of attraction in our lives that can pull us away from this negativity. Sarva akarshati iti Krishna. So when Indra finally realized that he'd made a huge mistake, colossal, but there was no going back now. He couldn't undo anything. He became severely depressed. Seriously depressed to the point where he was thinking, I cannot face my wife. Because how will I go in front of her? I cannot reach out to my parents with what face? I cannot even take shelter of my guru, my preceptor. I better end my life. But his Indra, a thought like that may come to his mind or come in his mind, but he was not actually going to work on it, isn't he? So, because he was afflicted by such depression, Physically, externally, the only way he responded was he was sitting on his throne, very, very dejected. So dejected that people could realize that Indra is mentally on the platform of the mind, he's on that brink of that cliff face. He wants to jump off. So Brihaspati approached him as Guru. Said, what is the problem? Hence, education is so very important because a teacher, even when we are incapable of reaching out to the teacher reaches out to us. And I'm not speaking in the metaphysical sense. Somehow the other teacher knows the student, that student has, this is where the student lacks. These are the student's lackings. Even the parents don't know. Because all the parents can give are certain values and some traditions. The teacher gives knowledge. So a teacher has never been addressed as a mata or a pita, a father or a mother, but a father or mother have been addressed as a teacher in scriptures. So teacher is important in human form of life. Preceptor. Oh, your own personal teacher is very, very helpful. One on one. You're not speaking of someone who can be a mentor or somebody who can counsel you. No, 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 no. You're speaking of a teacher, someone who's trained you in certain aspects of knowledge where your talents, your potential comes forth. That teacher exactly knows your strengths and your weaknesses. A mentor or a counselor may not be able to do that because mentors and counselors don't train you, they don't offer you knowledge systems. A teacher does. Obviously, when I speak in terms of black and white, there can be some overlap. You may say, no, a mentor also does this, and a mentor offers you guidance, a teacher offers you teachings. The vision to know that this is my potential and use it in particular ways, that is called a teaching. I can work in this way. This is how I can respond because I have the kshamata, the potential. So Brihaspati approached him. Indra explained to him the whole situation. In fact, it was all over the news, but it came through Indra's because he was doing it publicly, right? He really wanted to make, what is it called as? I forget the phrase. Make a point, prove a point. So that is what Indra did. It was very public. But Brihaspati would not accept rumors. He wanted to have a one-on-one conversation with his student, with Indra. So Indra told him everything. Brihaspati said, my dear child, you started off this entire thing out of arrogance, sheer arrogance. And in sheer arrogance, you wanted to destroy the residents of Vrindavan. And now, because you have realized that it's a mistake, you've gone into depression, and in sheer depression, you want to destroy yourself. Either of the two options are not what an intelligent person should look at. Only a fool and ignorant person looks towards destruction. An intelligent person would address destruction only if it leads to creation. Otherwise, would not ever think about destructive forces. Never. Sundar said, what should I do? I should go to Brahmaji. This is beyond me. I can only show you the way. I can only make you aware of what your potential is. But this is beyond my paycheck. Brahma is the firstborn son of the Supreme Lord. He is the creator. You wanted to destroy something that is within his creation. You need to go to Brahma and he'll tell you what should be done. Indra very humbly goes to Brahmaji. He doesn't begin by saying, you must have already heard. He doesn't say that. He says, I made a big mistake. Brahmaji said, what? And the more Indra would explain his side of the story, the more his conviction grew that he was actually acting in ignorance. The more he realized that he needs a serious life transformation. Brahmaji said, you try to destroy the very people that are dear most to Krishna, very dear to his heart. Do you think even I would have the audacity to go to Krishna and say, please forgive us? How do I even begin to ask for forgiveness? This is Krishna's family. However, I've heard that cows are very dear to Krishna. And our mother Surabhi, the celestial cow, she has unadulterated love for all of us. So maybe you could ask her to help you out, facilitate your meeting with Krishna so that you can request Krishna and ask him for forgiveness. So Indra goes to Mother Surabhi. She hears him out and she says, oh, we mothers, what all we have to do for our loved ones. So she says, all right, let us go to Vrindavan. Krishna understands that Indra is going to come and Surabhi is with him. So Krishna says that I need to give them private time. So he very, very smartly moves away from the rest of his friends and goes to a private space around Govardhan Hill where there's a wonderful slab that Govardhan Hill has created, very similar to a throne. Krishna goes and sits on that throne. Surabhi says, now you should go. Mother Surabhi tells Indra, now you should go. So Indra has come on his Airavat, his elephant carrier, Airavat. So he tells Airavat, all right, lead me there because Indra is used to travel using his vehicle, right? Surabhi says, don't go traveling on Airavat. Don't go as a king. Approach Krishna as a simple living being. Go on foot. And Indra approached Krishna on foot. And every step that he was taking in his heart, he was really feeling so very bad about his own intent. And he was feeling that he had made such a big mistake. Every step, and his realization was more and more deep that this was such a grievous mistake that he had committed that he started crying tears of remorse. Now, Indra is Sahasraksha, he's got a lot of eyes. So, a lot of tears were flowing. And with tearful eyes, thousands of eyes, he approached Krishna and he offered, supplicated himself, Dandvat Pranam, fell down flat in front of Krishna. And with his thousands of eyes and thousands of eyelids, he did not have the courage and the strength to look upon Krishna. So he simply offered his words, seeking forgiveness from Krishna. But he was stammering. He couldn't speak clearly. Krishna was becoming a little impatient. Mother Surabhi comes in. She says, "My dear Lord, he's been a little truant, naughty child. Yes, he has a big position, but all of us, we are your children. You are our father. You are our creator. Please forgive him." Krishna says, "All right, forgive him." Because he's more concerned about going back and playing with his friends. See, he may be the supreme personality of Godhead, but right now it is his time to play with his friends. And a child will get done with anything legal as quickly as possible so that the child can go out and play. So the legal affairs are all done. Krishna is like, okay, I've signed off on the pardon plea. He is forgiven. Now go. But Mother Surabhi, she would not leave. She said, "My dear Lord." And she called upon all the cows in the universe and the calves and the bulls. She somehow or the other, maybe Twitter or something she used. All of them came there. And she said, "You protected our clan, our cousins. You saved them from the deluge. All the cows and calves and bulls of Vrindavan. We are eternally grateful for you, to you." Indra, and we have taken shelter of Indra because he is our king. A king's duty is to protect all of one's citizens, Praja. He, in his ignorance, wanted to harm our cousins. You protected them. You performed the duty that Indra was supposed to perform. So actually, you are our king. And it is not sufficient that we just say that you are our king. We would want to coronate you as our king. This Indra may be the king of all the living entities in the universe presently, those in the human form and otherwise, because he's the king of the Devatas, Devendra. But you are the real king, and especially since you protected our clan, the Gauvangsha. We want to coronate you as a king of cows and the king of the entire creation, but especially as a king of cows. So for us, you are our Indra. So today onwards, we offer you the title Gau Indra. And Krishna is like, oh, that's such a big name. So Mother Survi said, you, Indra, you are our Indra, you are the Indra of the cows, but you are also the Indra or the king of the entire creation. Therefore, we offer you the name Govinda. And in the month of Kartik, Krishna was coronated as the king of the entire creation, specifically the king of the entire cow community, not the cowherd. The cowherd community is already included as a part of the creation, but especially the cows, Mother Surabhi coronated him as their king, Govinda. So Lord Govinda is very, very dear to the cows. How that happened and what happened after that is a beautiful narration, but we are short of time. Today I just wanted to introduce this topic and briefly describe how Krishna got the name Govinda. And when we address him as Govinda, it is actually King Govinda. King Govinda. He is a king now. So we stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions? So this happened in the month of Kartik, all right? In the month of Kartik, you can always chant Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Yes? How do we chant? What are we going to say? Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda. Yes? Radhe Govinda. So we can remember Krishna as Govinda and offer our prayers to Radhe Govinda. Is that all right? Hare Krishna. Any questions, any comments?
You just mentioned Goindra, so same as Govinda. I understand this story.
Like
Yeah, king is a protection. Okay.
there is one who takes care of someone is called as Palan Karta or Palak. So one who takes care of cows and calves is called as Gopa. However, Goindra is not good grammar. So according to grammar, O, the two words, the first word ends with O, the second word begins with I, and becomes V. So Goindra becomes Govinda. Okay? O plus I becomes V in conjunction. YV. It becomes V. Goindra becomes Govinda. Is that all right? Any other questions, comments? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Kartik Maas ki jai, Shri Radhe Govind ki jai, Shri Radha Damodar Bhagwan ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Rohinipriya Prabhu ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.